This is Janjo, and I'm building a deck, yeah! What is up, Janjonites? This is the next GOAT format deck profile. We're tackling Doriado of the Elemental Mistress variety. Ooh, a Mistress Ritual monster. Ritual monsters aren't really seen too much in GOAT format. The only one you would pretty much see is just Relinquished. And even that's not saying too much, but there's a lot of good ritual monsters in GOAT format, and we're tackling one today, and of course, Doriado. Now, Doriado, at face value, is a very weak monster. It's a level 3 light. Its effect is that its attribute when it's on the field is wind, water, fire, and earth. And it only has 1200 attack and 1400 defense. That's pretty bad, but we're not here for it being attacking. We're here for this other card to make use of Doriado, and that's Furin Kazan, or said really fast as Frigade. This card, it has the same requisites that match Doriado's effect, where you need wind, water, fire, and earth monsters on the field. Well, when Doriado's on the field, this constitutes as okay, good, you're good to go to activate this. So this card, when it's activated, you can apply one of 3 effects. Its first effect is it destroys all monsters your opponent controls. The second effect is that it destroys all spells and traps your opponent controls, while its third effect is discards 2 random cards from your opponent's hand. Holy shit, I just scroll down. You know what? It's a pot of greed too. It can make you draw 2 cards. Holy shit. I'm on Dueling Book, and like the text just stops there, and obviously like it has the card here, what I'm looking at. But you can draw 2 cards from this. It's a Pot of Greed, Raigeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, and Duo all in one, and all you need to have on the field is Doriado. It's very versatile. It's a trap card, so you can activate it during your opponent's turn, when they summon a monster, during their end phase, when they attack. Whatever you really need it for. Now, initially, I was running 2, but I felt like 3 was a good amount, even though we are running 2 of the Doriado monster and spell. There's good chances you might be able to use more than one, and this is just a complete blow out of the water. I'm not 100% sure on like the naming of the deck apart from Doriado. It's kind of a Doriado Chaos Stun / Chaos Turbo-y. I think Doriado Chaos Stun is the proper term. I'm not 100% sure on like factual naming, so if you know, definitely let me know. When it comes to other cards in Doriado, I wound up going more this route than what people probably would expect would be a more gimmicky route, using cards like Elementsaurus and Element Magician, stuff like that. Stuff that Doriado would help, surely, yeah, but just as a deck, it doesn't really do too much, because their effects are like, okay, they're alright, but Doriado's not on the field, they're pretty useless. And sure, so is Furin Kazan, but that's the only card, and it's a trap, so we can at least set it and use it for later if we need to. We are only playing 2 Doriados because I just don't want to brick with it. It's not the best card, and again, there's other things we can get it out if it's destroyed, stuff like Premature Burial and Call of the Haunted specifically. So when it comes to the other cards, we need stuff that can help run it. Well, good ways to get stuff for it is Manju of the 10,000 Hands. When this card's normal summon, we can add a Doriado or a Doriado's Blessing from our deck to our hand, so it's a great normal summon. And 1400 attack isn't too bad. Also, it's when it's flip summon, so you can set it too, and great part is it's not a flip effect monster. So it works well with that. To get other cards to tribute it, we are running Emissary of the Afterlife, which is a kind of a really cool techie card. See, when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, each player adds 1 level 3 or lower normal monster from the deck to your hand. Now, most people aren't playing level 3 or lower normal monsters. Level 4, maybe, but certainly not level 3 or lower. Now, the best target would be something like Sonic Duck. I'd rather play Dragon Zombie, because Dragon Zombie does have only 1600 attack. It is 100 less than Sonic Duck. That's still not bad. And the benefit of Dragon Zombie is that it's a dark attribute, so it does work with Chaos. And if you notice, we are really, yeah, we're only playing light and dark monsters in this build, so it really helps with that. Because Doriado's a light, and then we have Dragon Zombie, which is a level 3, which actually matches the ritual requirements for Doriado, so we can have plenty of ways to summon stuff on the field and kind of help get some momentum, because the problem with ritual decks is that they do use a lot of resources, and you need a lot of those resources in the first place to use those resources. So running cards like Manju that can search stuff out, Emissary that can search stuff out, that helps a lot. And running other things that help Chaos play, so we can use the graveyard to help us do this stuff, is really great. Stuff like Thunder Dragon, we can search 2 out of our deck and use those to help fuel the graveyard with light monsters. Rituals, we can send a level 3 dark, and just like that, we have a light and a dark in our graveyard. Because of that, we are running 3 Chaos monsters. You could change the ratio to 2 if you wanted. I think 3 is good because we're only playing light and darks, and we kind of need a better win con for this. You could potentially do like a Monarch engine if you want to go that route, but I like Chaos. Who doesn't, really? 2 Chaos Orcs and 1 BLS is just great offensive pressure for this. Sangan can search Doriado out and many other things like a Tsukiyomi or a Manju. It can't search Emissary, can't search Dragon Zombie, which is unfortunate. Breaker is great just to get rid of potentially bad back row cards that could hurt us. Kaiku is just a great beater card that's very anti-chaos. And the rest of the spells, these like are staple spells. Now, of course, we are having the Doriado's Blessing. We need that to summon Doriado. But the rest, we got the Trinity, we got the Equip Duology, and we have the back row Duology as well. Really, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the power 7. I feel like I've said this before, but this is really the power 7. And sure, there's sometimes you may not want to run Heavy Storm. Maybe times you may not want to run the Liquid Duo or Premature Burial, but generally these are like your staple cards, your staple spell cards in a GOAT format deck. So when it comes to the spell or the traps, I actually wound up running more than I initially had planned, and it's kind of shaped together. Call the Haunt is good if we need to bring back a monster to either use Doriado's Blessing with or to bring back Doriado herself. Of course, running 3 Funarin Kazans to really make use of the effect. Running 2 Jar Greed, it's because we're running so many traps, you want to at least have some sort of bluff against the opponent. Plus, it helps give us cards quicker, which is great, adds that sort of turbo mentality with the deck. Mirror Force and Ring, these I would say these like the 2 staple for sure. The power 2. Just to protect us from attacks and to get rid of potential threats, and maybe even close out some games with Ring of Destruction, who knows. And since a stun deck isn't a stun deck without 3 Solemn Judgments, because it'd be nice to stop things in case your opponent has outs to whatever we can, because the last thing you want is to use all these resources just to be blown out of the water. Solemn really helps with that too. And that's pretty much the deck. It's funny how it kind of shaped out. It was looking a little bit different when I was first building it. I think adding that 3rd Funarin Kazan really maybe into the mindset to make this a more of a stun deck, because I was trying to think of other spell cards we could run. There wasn't really ones I was like, yeah, I really want to run this. And you could run like Book of Moon, Nolvan Across out, those like the 2 popular alternate choices. You could swap out Jar Greed for more defensive cards like Sakuretsu Armor, or more offensive cards like Raigeki Break. You could run other cards like Lightning Vortex. There's so many things that you can change. This is not a de facto build, obviously. None of my decks are. You can swap things out as you see fit. I mean, I might certainly have a different build in a month's time for any of these decks if I feel like, okay, maybe I could cut out, the more of the stun engine for more of a standardized build, I suppose. But yeah, I think this deck really looks fun. I think Doriado is a fun card. It's really a Funarin Kazan deck more than Doriado, but this is like the monster. This is like the face of the deck, while this is like really the backbone of it. And this card is really nutty if it wasn't for its prerequisite criteria. So let me know what you think about this deck. Is Doriado spicy or what? And also let me know what you'd like to see in future deck profiles. And of course, until I see you all next time, have a nice day.